Ladies who are here, if you'd like to use the Spotify playlist, I'll put it up in my chat. I'm also going to play it gently in the background here on my screen. So if you just want it really muted, you can simply hear my voice and what I'm playing over here. But if you want to set it yourself, feel free to do so. We are going to start with a singing bowl today, and then I'll tell us when to start the playlist. So let me get this up for you. So welcome. This is Calm with Kate. What began as a way for me to connect to my yoga students once our studio closed due to the pandemic has turned into my new way of living and favorite way of teaching, strictly online, to this wonderful community of people who are united in lifting each other up, bringing positivity and grace to one another. So thank you for being part of tonight's practice, restorative yoga for anxiety. This is a 45-minute class, gentle, restorative, mostly yin-held postures, but with a little bit of heat in those wonderful muscles as well to make sure that we're safely entering into some holds. Tonight, as we begin, I'll invite you into a position called Vajrasana in our yoga practice. And so the typical way to get into it is by having your knees together and your feet wide. It's kind of the opposite of what child's pose is, right? So knees together and feet wide behind you. For today's practice, for our restorative, I'll invite you to take a pillow, one or two, something really restorative, and right away sneak it underneath your booty and between booty and feet, and then sit down. Typically in this posture, your tailbone and your booty would sit down in between with the feet on the outside. So you might find yourself squishing into that place if comfortable. We're hoping for some lengthening across the top of the thighs, into the ankles and shins. Right away, if you're uncomfortable, please resituate. For some of us, feet together, shin bones sealed together in a separate pose, which is more like a hero's or a pose, is perfectly fine as well. We're just hoping for some lengthening through the tops of the thighs. And if this even feels not okay to you, by all means, choose another seat. Tonight, as we begin our practice, I'm inviting in an intention about what must happen to us. An idea that anxiety, that suffering, that everything that we're going through right now is necessary. And so as we bring that idea in, I thought I'd bring us into presence with a singing bowl. This is from Rishikesh in India and was blessed in the Ganges River and has healing power. And so I'm inviting this healing into our community circle tonight, radiating this sound of energetic healing and joy. So even just by hearing it, you can begin the process of inner healing. So I'll invite you to find your stillness, and I'll simply play the bowl. And you remain eyes closed and breathing until the last moment that you hear the bowl singing to you, and then I'll begin our guided practice. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And an open mouth exhale. 2 more like that, arriving into this moment with intention. Breathe in. Open your mouth, release, sigh out. Feel softening, surrender in body, in throat, in mind. One more time, breathing in through the nose, observing the expansion of your belly down into your hip points. Open your mouth and exhale. Good. For just a moment here before moving the physical body, invite in the idea of your intention. Perhaps asking yourself, what do I need most in this week ahead? Beginning to blink your eyes open. If you are choosing to use the playlist, feel free to start it at any time. Turn mine down just a touch here. I'm going to remain in this seated position for just a bit or two, moving into some stretches right here in this spot. In your Vajrasana spot, or if your feet are together, no problem. Please take your arms and reach them up overhead. Extending straight for the sky. Feel the open heart and throat. Imagine you're holding onto a globe over your head here. Beautiful. Nice, soft shoulders, soft, easy belly and stretch. Good. Reach up with intentionality, pulling up out of your hips so that you can feel your shoulders sort of come up and away from you. Good. And as you exhale, lean up and back just a little. Mini back bend here. Yeah, so we're feeling it. The shoulders move away from your peripheral view so that there's an automatic stretching across my heart and my throat. Good. Nice. Come back just a little bit more to center so you feel your shoulders slip back into sockets. Good. This is kind of the neutral zone. Breathe in here. As you do, stretch up like I'm gently pulling on your wrists and then backwards. Yeah, good. Really nice. Feel the broadening across the middle and upper back here. Feel the warmth that's happening in the shoulders as you reach. Not much going on, but we feel a lot, yeah? Inhale to come center, and exhale to soften down, shoulders into sockets one more time. You might feel some tension, some ease, some movement of blood here in the hands. If you'd like to move them and twist through the wrists, feel free to. We'll just take that one more time. So inhale, lift up and out of the hips. And exhale to take the arms over and behind you, just out of your reach and out of your view. Stretch across your throat, maybe lift your chin just an inch or two. Welcome in vulnerability. Welcome in truth. Good. Take a deep, full breath in. And the breath out. Inhale those arms up overhead. Exhale, bring them behind you and take your hands to interlace behind your back. Pull your knuckles back away from you and then also towards your heels. So chest expansion here. Perhaps the knuckles just fall onto your pillow or onto your heels or arches. Feel the stretch and the lengthening of the muscles away. Open up across the heart and the chest. Still lengthening across the front line of the knees, the thigh bones, ankles, calves. Good. Breathing into this shape, inhale. Listen on your exhale, bend at the elbows. Take your palms and your hands, the knuckles over to the left side. So right away, the right palm is pushing into the left, and the right forearm is against the small of your back. Ideally, you feel this across your right shoulder, even down into the right forearm, and now we'll stretch the neck just a bit. Gently breathing in, breathing out, bring left ear to left shoulder. Just listen to the moon and the stars for a moment here. Soften your jaw, unclench, release tension there. Soften your eyebrows, elongate through the sides of the neck, the scalings all the way into the muscles that help you breathe. Into the lymphatic system underneath that right lung. Good. Level the chin. Take the hands, bring them behind you to chest expansion. Feel free to extend the arms to elongate once again. Puff up the chest and breathe in. On the exhale, bring that shape around, bend the elbows, hands go over to the right here. So right hand on the outside, left underneath. Good. Soften the left elbow point closer to the left hip point. Good. So as the left shoulder moves away from the left ear, starting to feel some warmth and heat there, breathing in. And as you exhale, tilting up the left ear toward the ceiling. Pause and breathe here. Many of us experience strain through the neck as we lean over our devices all day, as we yearn inward into conversation. Here we just pause, breathing in and allowing some space to come in, some length. Take another deep breath in. And a soft exhale, really nice. Release your arms behind you one more time, and this time as you do, bring chin down into chest. Just observe the lengthening in the back of the neck here. Probably feels good. Keeping this shape, just gazing down at the mat, slowly rise up to standing on your knees. Move the pillow if you need to out of the way. We're going to move yourself into the opposite shin formation, so child's pose in the feet. Big toes connected, knees out wide, hands behind you. Still looking down for a moment. Start to just tip your hips toward the front. Good. And as you do, look up to the sky. Beautiful. Now start to bring your chin down. And slowly, slowly come into child's pose. Booty goes back towards heels, knuckles go up and overhead. Crown of the head dropping down to the mat, maybe your third eye touching down below. If the booty doesn't want to come close to the heels, if knees are tight, re-find your pillow, please, and sneak it back to where it was so you can sit there. Stretching out through these shoulders here, continuing this really nice ease. Breathe in and send your right cheek to the mat, breathe out. While the right cheek is down, tilt the right shoulder into the mat and roll open. Ah, nice. So the right shoulder is ideally touching mat or near the earth. You are rotating so that your heart is open toward your left knee. You may feel a little stretch along the right hip. No crunching in the joints, yeah? Breathe in. On your exhale, come back to center. Place between the eyebrows, presses mat. Exhale. Inhale, lift your head up. Exhale, left cheek down, left shoulder down. Open up, just rotating to the right. Observe while you're here, what does it feel like to have your chest rotated? To begin to open into a gentle and mild twist. To feel the detoxifying rinse that's happening from the inside out. What is it within you that needs to rinse and release here? Allow your breath to palpitate into these places and clarify and clear out. Ready to start a new week with an intense intention of grace and ease. One more breath here. Good. Bring your third eye down to the mat. Release that chest expansion and bring your hands down to support you, slowly coming into table pose. So hands underneath the shoulders and step the feet back. Because you might feel some tension in the backs of the feet or knees, your opportunity here to take your feet and just pound into the tops of the mat. Just a little tap, 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 tap. Work a little bit of blood back into the tops of the feet and shins. And once you've done that, take the left foot behind you, stretch it back. Push the left ball now down into the earth and simply rock forward and back, forward and back. Feel the stretch here, not only into all the way down into the left calf and into the ball mount, but as you move forward and back into this table, starting to feel pressure into the palms. And as you do, see if you can feel pressure in all 10 fingers and wide across the base of the palm. Good. Just one more here, really warming up through the back of the leg, opening the back of the knee that may have been closed off to blood for a few moments prior. Then soak your left shin back down and do the same on the right. So just extend right leg back, right toes dig into earth, ball mount heavy to ground, and then push back. So the heel is leaning toward the earth, and then come on to almost your tiptoes as you rock forward. Shoulders go over the wrist just a little bit. Perfectly fine to do so here. We're in table, not stressing out the joints too much. Just observing what it feels like to put pressure in all 10 fingers. Good. Also releasing out that tension from the back of the leg. Nice. Now back into table pose. We'll work a little bit of heat into these muscles, not here too long. First, let's make sure we're good in our wrists and our forearms and our joints in the arms. So begin right here by just opening your heart into a slow, slow, slow cow. Good. Pause here. Bend the elbows down. See if you can tap the mat. Still looking to the top of the mat here. Feel the stretch in the oblique and opening. And then come back through straight arms. Go right up into your cat pose. And as you do, claw the mat into your finger pads. So you really truly look like a cat. 10 little points of fingers touching down, chin in. Good. We'll just take that slowly one more time. Plant through the palms. Start from the low navel. Scoop down, down, down. Slowly, slowly moving into cow pose. Maybe tapping the elbows down. Really opening through the... Then coming all the way through. Up, 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 and press away. Open back so the shoulder heads. Press the heart through. And return to table. Good. Neutral spine now really zips up and in, straight line from the crown of the head forward. Press into the right and left hand as well as the right shin. Extend the left leg back. Left leg is off the mat, hovering and even, exactly even with that left hip bone. Good. So right here, spending a little bit of time warming up. We're just going to tap the mat and up. Tap down. And deep so back to the quad string, up and then you keep the table just
Kate, I think we lost your audio.
Uh-oh, have you got me?
Yep, now you're back.
Oh, ladies, thank you. Okay. Strange. All right, so we're still holding that left foot out briefly, feeling that stretch with the forearms down. Nice. As you open here, releasing that hip just a little bit, come up onto the palms, press down. Good. Now lift the left foot up, take it all the way up and cross behind you. Good, so the left foot is crossed behind the right. Breathe in. And as you exhale, start to walk your hands over to the left. Nice. So really stretching all the way through the IT and the right glute here. Tuck chin into chest. Beautiful. Walk the hands back and then take them all the way over to the right. Maybe you can look over the right shoulder, see the toes. Melt the left hip crease down. If you'd like to experience a different sensation in the outer left leg, roll to the outside pinky toe edge of the foot, and then keep looking, keep twisting. Let this move from the low lumbar spine all the way wrapping around like a corkscrew around the middle of the body. Good. Come on back through center. Lift the left foot up. Good. Slowly, slowly holding here for 4. Good. 3, 2, and 1. Back to table. Good. Switch the hips right to left. Sass out those glutes before we take the other side. So ensure that your belly is zipped up and in. Sometimes the best way to do that is to take a cow and a cat and then find the middle ground in between. It's also important to push heavily down into the mat and pull the belly up and in. Then heavy into the left shin, extend the right leg back and lift it up. Good. Check on your chin. Gaze down to the top of the mat. No pain in the low back here. If you're feeling low back pain, check on what's happening to the spine. Can you do any changes? Maybe a little more cat pose, maybe a little more doming of the shoulders. And now we begin the slow. Tap the mat with the toes, lift up. Tap and lift. Whew. It's pretty amazing how a slow and drawn out movement here can really impact the muscles. Of course, we know that running, that jumping, that all those fast twitch muscles make us warm up, but this is really good dynamic work that you're doing. So breathe into the heat as it's coming. Good. Not here long. Good. Now inhale, lift that right leg up, and then exhale, bring it over to the right. And as you do, starting to find a comfort zone for what feels right to your inner right seam of your leg. Hands are still right down in front of you. Look down to see the space between them. Play with a little bit of moving that right foot forward or back. Toes are going straight forward to the top of the mat, breathing in here. And as you exhale, perhaps starting to melt elbows down to the earth. Soften through the back of the neck. Feel this stretch radiating both in inner and outer legs, so the right foot is suctioning to the earth so much that you feel this in the right outer ankle bone as well. Really attempting to warm into tiny muscles as well as our big, strong, long muscles here. If you have a pillow or your yoga block and you want to use that underneath your forehead, please do so. A little bit of place to rest here. 2 breaths. What is warming? What is the physical sensation of the sweat as it comes? What is its purpose? To cool you down. Notice if you can find gratitude for these moments of warmth instead of frustration. Body doing its best to look out for you and take care of you. Let the mind do the same. Come back up and pressing into the palms here. Very gently, as always with yourself, sliding the right foot back and up, and then taking it behind you. So crossing behind the left shin, docking the toes. Feels like a little bit of a strange stretch. At first, you're gonna stretch the left outer IT band and the glute. So start walking your hands over to the left, any amount. Ugh. Feel an inner twist because that's real tight space between the inner thighs is glued up together. Stretch the right lung open. Bow the chin. Good. And then experiment with walking the hands over to the right. Counter stretch right here, release. One more breath right here. Lift the right leg up and return to table. Good. Shake the hips right to left. Move the blocks out of the way. Step the right foot through and replace it where the right hand was. So it feels like a kneeling lunge, but it's going to be more like a kneeling lizard because you're out to the side. Both hands down on the inside of the right foot. Hands don't have to touch the mat entirely. Take a block or your pillows if you like and put them there instead. Start your process of slowly draping yourself hip points closer forward and down. So inhale and then exhale as you allow the left hip to come toward the mat. Good. Experimenting with finding your variation that works. And when you feel you're in a place where you can be a little bit curious as to the development, stay. Hands on blocks, hands on earth. Breathe intentionality here, both into the left hip crease as it draws toward earth. And the right hip crease as it winds all the way around the glute shelf. Option to stay right here, or if it's available to you, start to move down onto left forearm. Left forearm to mat. Right hand stays right where it is. Some of us feel some shaking in the muscles here. We believe that's a working out of the things that are stored there, which in this case, the left side, we feel shame and resentment, old stories. Breathe. As we know, the body keeps the score, as Professor Van Kolk says. The body holds on to things. In these practices, we discover how to breathe and ease them out. One final addition here to this particular posture, option to start to roll to your outer right pinky toe edge of the foot. The right knee widens out. You feel the opening in the back of the right glute med and the shelf here. For me, in order to feel that a little bit more, I'm pressing back into the left hand. So I'm back in what feels like a table pose in both arms. Looking down at my inner arch and the 5 toes of my right foot. And it's a lot. It's a big stretch. Deep breath in. And full breath out. Good. Push that weight back into the right foot. Rocking yourself forward just a little bit. Start to pull the left heel toward the left glute. Yes. Know that you can stay right here. If capturing your foot is something that sounds like a good idea to you, lift the right arm first and breathe in. Get long and stretch like an easy twist. And as you exhale, reach behind you. Just see what you might find. If the foot is nearby, awesome. If not, no big deal. If it feels like it's close and you might get there in a couple inches, take your pillow, take your block, set it underneath your left hand and sit up nice and tall. Yeah. With that tallness in your chest, with the fingers pressing into your pillow or block, feel the stretch now. In the front of the left thigh bone and quad and hamstring here. Good. Carefully release your hold if you're holding. Bring the right hand all the way back down to the earth. Last variation, we move into the knee in front of knee pose, right? So start to scoop the left knee to the middle of the mat, and then bring the right knee in front. Right knee in front of left knee. Automatically, we start by trying to see if we can get feet to go closer to the top of the mat, and then see if you can sit back down, maybe on the block, maybe on a pillow. Pause. Yeah. So feet are outside, knee on top of knee. Grow tall through your heart. Press down into your arches. Breathe in. Yeah. Stay, breathe out. Good. For some of us, the stretch in the hip creases is enough right here. And for some of us, perhaps bowing forward is possible. So breathe in again. And as you exhale, start to crawl the hands, palm by palm, closer to the top of the mat. Keep your back long and strong. Release the back of the neck. Working for a stretch, working for sensation. Never the feeling of a snap or a burning, tingling, cutting off of the blood supply. The furthest variation of the pose is not our destination. We are here for all the spaces in between. Good. Come on up. Coming out of this a little bit funky here, hands behind you, touch the earth. Walk your feet to the ground like a bridge pose. Set your booty down. Knees to the sky. We'll take some windshield wipers right and left. Knees right, knees left. Good. Knees windshield wiping, my friends, always a really nice choice for low back pain or sensations that you're feeling through mid and upper lumbar as well. So if you're tight in the middle of the day and unsure why, and you're carrying stuff down there in low back, a forward fold can always help, but also this sensation right here. Release and twist and rinse. Good. We're going to make our way back to table pose to take those shapes on the left side. So come on through to table using your timing. And step left foot to replace left hand. Lizard pose in a kneeling fashion. For me, I immediately hop my right toes back, dig the toes into the ground, and observe the stretch in my right hip crease. Your right foot can wiggle walk all the way off the mat, a nice long distance if you'd like, or stay kind of tucked in tight, your choice. Hands can be down on any support or right to mat. Release the skull, the jaw, close the eyes. Option to move down onto forearms if that suited you first time. Know that it might not feel the same on side two. And slowly then, if you choose to move into a next variation, move slowly and roll out onto your pinky toe edge of the foot, exposing your arch. Good. Feel the stretch in the left cheek into the inner hip. And finally, rotating back into the left foot is flush with mat. Bending right heel and attaching it to right butt cheek. Staying here if you like, or starting by lifting left arm to sky and opening heart and throat. Exhale to reach behind you, see if you can find any part of your foot. If you're close by, it might behoove you to take a block or a pillow underneath the right hand, walking that block 2 inches closer to the right knee, sitting upright, and then finding. Stretch here, open heart here, melt into the pose. Really nice. Release that carefully. Bring the hands back down to the top of the mat. Right knee to the middle of the mat. Left knee in front. Knee in front of knee. Good. Walking the feet a little bit more toward the front. Taking your pillow, your block, anything if you've used it on side one, underneath the booty and sit back. Good. Hands into the arches, grow tall, breathe in. Exhale, tilt forward any amount. Even as you tilt forward, you feel the anchor of the pelvis. Beautiful release of the head. Soften and glide the shoulders back and down. If you did on side one, option to crawl the hands toward the top of the mat, hovering navel over the shape of your legs. Good. Slowly make your way out of that pose by sitting back onto the booty. Once again, hands behind you. Feet unwind into what feels like we're going to move into a bridge. And we're going to take the opposite. So hands toward back of mat, palms toward your booty. Push into the feet. Lift the torso up into this reverse table. Yeah, just stretch a little bit into a reverse table by lifting the hips up here. Good, broadening across the collarbones. Excellent, release all the way back down, hip points come back through. Nice, now take both of your knees over to the left, right knee underneath the left. Feels kind of like you're in a seated twist here, and we're about to be. Take your right hand up. Exhale, tent it behind you. Take your left hand across you like a seatbelt. See if you can palm onto the top of the right knee. Grow tall. And exhale, twist. Nice. Open up through the right hip, all the way into the right lung. Twist and turn. If it's okay on your neck, to look over the right shoulder, or maybe down to the mat. Feel the widening all the way along that right side, from your hip up into your armpit. Good. Then come back to the other side, coming for a counter stretch. Both hands onto the top of the left shin. Touch the top of the left shin. Cat like your back. Lean away from your hands. Good. So big cat-like back, tuck chin, scoop belly in. And come on up. Let's take the other side. Turn the knees. Left knee underneath right. Good. Left arm up, breathe in. Left arm behind, breathe out. Right hand up to breathe in. Right hand on top of left knee. Start to twist. Feel the wrap that's happening all the way from underneath the left intercostals. Stretch into the heart. Send your chin over your left shoulder. And then come back through for your counter stretch. Hands onto the right shin. Puff your heart up. Tuck your chin, lean away, pulling on this shin. So you're using your own opposition, pulling away, stretching the shoulders open, using the shin to hold on. Tuck the chin. Keep the legs still and firm. Nice. Breath in. A breath out. Good. Come back through center. Bring both feet to the sky. Come on all the way down onto your back. Knees to the sky, feet to the earth. Good. Now breathe in here, and on your exhale, send both knees over to the left. Pausing right here, left knee stays just where it is. Right hand is going to reach all the way down. See if it's possible to maybe latch on to the right ankle. Good, so really enjoying this stretch here. If the right knee is feeling tight, take your pillow, your bolster, your blanket between your knees here so that the right knee has something to land on top of. And then again, reach right hand to hold on to right ankle. Stretch. Open up your collarbones to the ceiling. Maybe turn your gaze over right shoulder. Breathe. Soft release of the ankle. Keeping the pillow between your legs. If it helped you, bring the knees up to the ceiling. Inhale. Exhale, both knees to the right. Laying on the right glute here. Stay for a moment and let the shape settle. And then left hand reaches down, maybe holding onto the left ankle. Two more full breaths here. And slowly release that leg and gently extend your legs forward, just developing here into Shavasana. Returning here into our intention of what must happen to us. Taken from a spiritual guide named Richard Rohr, who ponders, what do we do when we feel at the end of our personal resources on how to deal with life? There's no practical or compelling reason to leave your comfort zone. If things are working, why should we? We also can't force ourselves into a loss or a catastrophic event. The things that ordinarily shift us and change us dramatically. Any conscious attempt to engineer or plan our own enlightenment is doomed to fail because it's driven by our ego and the wrong purpose. But unexpected vulnerability and weakness, being brought to our knees by circumstance, might force us to go where we would not go otherwise. Maybe this is you right now. If you're honest, there's at least one situation in your life that you cannot fix or control or explain or understand. But brought to our spiritual knees where we find our vulnerability, our rawness, our open self, we are ready to be seen and open to be changed. Opportunity is lying here outside of the comfort zone. In these last few moments, allow your own grace and nurturing to wash over you. Allow the healing of this community to soak into your bones and receive it as we all wish each other's highest good. Take a deep breath in. And an open mouth, exhale. Begin to bring movement to fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. Choosing how you want to arrive for the next few moments. Moving on to fetal pose, right or left side. Just as final Shavasana marks the death of our practice, it means corpse pose. Fetal pose marks the beginning, a new beginning for you and whatever that means for you. Wide awake to the opportunity of understanding that is here for you now. That what must happen to us helps us grow. And come on up to an easy seat, top of your mat as you're ready. Join the palms together at the center of the heart and then thumbs in between the eyebrows. Calling in one more time your inner wisdom, your vidya, your truth, your highest good. Bowing forward to seal this practice and honor each other. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being at Yoga for Restorative for Anxiety. I'm Kate. Once again, your donations are graciously received at Kate Yoga Ryan. I want to know you and be part of this community of healing and help you in any way I can. So send your feedback, your comments, your thoughts, message me. I hope you feel restored and rested and revived. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you. Stay cool.